love you.
No.
So we're live. Hopefully we're live.
We are live. We're live. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
And welcome to the Nerdy Up North podcast. It's a nerdy podcast and is hosted by Northern Nerds. I am one of your hosts, Sam.
And I am the other host, Paul. And joined tonight, we are joined by the gruesome twosome themselves.
Bloody hell.
I'll go in strong, don't worry. Like, see, you have made an effort. You have got dressed up, putting your jammers on and stuff. Yeah.
Ayala's clearly not in her jammers.
I know. Well, from the bottom side, she had jammer bottoms on.
Oh.
See, and Ayala is still young enough that she can stretch like that because I can't. So yeah.
Oh, good God, no. I'd break a hip.
Don't even think about it.
I don't know how young you think I am, but I'm not even going to correct you. So
that's fine. Everyone's
we'll
young.
Let's stay friends.
We'll keep that rumor going.
Yeah. So Ayla's made the effort, and she's come as Lydia Deets. So hopefully we'll get a little bit of paranormal and spirit talking in a bit. If you've seen Beetlejuice 2, that'll make more sense. And we've got the wonderful, the lovely, the vibracious Kelly, who is back after the Stephen King kick that we had with her as well. So and after discussing with Stephen King, hopefully more Stephen King books and films will be talked about in the new year. So that get used to Kelly's face. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, fucking hell, get used to this face. You poor bastard.
Get used to that face.
So yes.
Hopefully this week won't be as dark and revealing as last week. Maybe we've got that out of our systems. And
where did that fucking come from? That was dark.
I don't know. That was like took a turn, but it was such a good turn. I felt lighter when we came off there. So
did you feel stiff as a
listen? Talking to me.
Is it just therapy? Do you just bring like?
But no, I think though, I'd say that it was because normally we do light and fluffy well. And I think that's great.
Yeah.
But I think the tone of that movie as well, we would have been wrong not to hit on the different elements, like say with The Craft, because everyone thinks The Craft is a 90s look, like it's a look film. Everyone thinks, oh, it's beautiful, but the tones and undertones for that film is so deep and so strong.
Yeah,
it kind of gets overlooked. So, but not by us nerds, no. But yes,
no, we searched deeper.
Yes,
we went deeper.
We did go very deep. And
apparently nerds like it deep. That's all I'm saying. But yeah.
We've been stiff as a board and we like it deep.
Yeah.
This is the theme. Okay.
That's fine. What we're talking about with paranormal sex pests. So we can't go wrong with like a little innuendo. To be fair though, Beetlejuice 2 could have done with a few more innuendos. Just saying. That's just my personal trait out there. But yeah.
I fully agree. Yes.
So, Sammy, do you want to get the disclaimer out before I get us into trouble?
Yeah, it would be an idea, wouldn't it? Well, everything discussed in today's episode is our opinions and our opinions alone. If you'd like to discuss anything from today's episode, please come and join us on our Facebook group, the Discord, or the comment section, where we can have an open discussion. But what we won't have is anyone coming for us and telling us our opinions are wrong, because we can all agree to disagree in fandom. So let's keep it fun. Keep it kind and keep the toxic behaviour out of a nerdism.
Yes. And what I found out this week as well, because I know Jake and Adam has been twitching again, and Sammy asked a very important question in the group chat the other week, is how do you find the Twitch channel? Because you couldn't find the link. But to be fair, if you type in into Google "nerdy up north," we are fucking everywhere. So literally, like literally, it is scary how search engine friendly nerdy up north is. It even finds us like of past events that we've been to, like when we had the first ever nerdy up meetup. That is on some events page and stuff like that.
Oh, that was forever ago.
Oh, that was amazing.
Yeah.
That was something. That was when the world got introduced to Kelly Nix.
Oh yeah, brought me that curtain. I've got
Yes,
memory like
you
a
did.
fucking sieve, me man. Aye.
Yes, you did.
Yes. So, do you want to do the taglines, lovely lady?
Oh God, yeah, I totally forgot. So, as we all know, I love a tagline,
Yes.
and I didn't get to do these on the other Beetlejuice episode because I feel everyone's covered Beetlejuice now. So say it once, say it twice, but we dare you to say it 3 times.
Ooh.
Actually, that is the one that I used for the introduction onto monsters. Sorry. He's guaranteed to put some life in your afterlife.
All right.
I
like
love that one.
That is
I
good.
love that
That's
one.
a really good one.
The next one's going to disappoint you. Spinning head.
All right.
Spinning head. Is that it?
Spinning head.
Spinning head or
so,
spinning?
So basically, we've had
Spinning.
stiffing aboard, lightning deep, and a bit of head. So yeah,
Yeah.
still going well.
Oh, but the next one is he's the ghost with the most.
Right, that's probably
Which
the most famous one.
iconic.
Yes.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
I'm still trying to process spinning head.
Right.
So they pitched that. They decided that that works when you had like your head will spin.
Well,
on
think
the
about
table,
it. There is a moment where his head does spin.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So maybe
Yeah.
that.
and has anyone in the chat had spinning head before? Just asking. You don't
Is
have to
that-
answer.
I hear
like,
you
don't,
right
don't,
now.
don't you hate it when that happens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
In this house, if you've seen one ghost, you haven't seen them all.
Right. That's shit. That's terrible.
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah.
I quite like this one, and I don't know if I'm going to butcher this. In the name of laughter, from the hereafter.
Oh.
That's a bit.
That's a bit-
Guffaw. Guffaw.
Yeah.
Aye,
I like that one. In the hereafter. In the name of laughter from the hereafter.
I know, but you like a dad joke though, so that's probably.
I love dad jokes.
I
Yeah.
fucking hate
That feels like an introduction on like Graham Norton or something. Like, is that's like a
Yeah.
like.
And then you can just imagine the hands going like this.
To be
and-
fair though, in the
Yeah,
80s would have been either
Yeah.
Jonathan Ross or Terry Wogan.
Yes.
You know what? Actually, Jonathan Ross, that would be the perfect. That because yeah. They're like,
I'm not
"Oh,
doing a
he's
Jonathan Ross
dead."
impression. I'm not getting us kicked off YouTube for that. I'm
But
not
he
having
was on it.
YouTube taken down for a
He
Jonathan
was on
Ross
there,
impression.
Evil Dead, wasn't he? The Evil Dead UK thing with Sam Raimi, in the like the
Wait.
pictures eating popcorn and fucking.
Oh, that's
Aye, Jonathan Ross is there. And it's fucking shite.
Well, yeah, because he used to do movie reviews like
Well, he
late at
did.
night, didn't he? He was
did.
like the guy,
Yeah.
wasn't
He
he?
took over
Aye.
over from Barry Norman. This is showing my age. Barry
Oh,
Norman is
bloody
how
hell,
old
Barry.
I am. He used to be this like proper like a movie show on BBC where it was like proper
Yeah.
markets and like, oh, this movie is 4 out of 5 stars. It is so it is, blah blah. And it was like then he got ill or died. He might not have died. I might have just made that up. And then Jonathan Ross kind of.
Are you killing Barry Norman off?
I'm sure he's already dead. He could be in this movie. You never know.
He'll be dying now. You've struck him down.
They've shook him down, possibly. To be fair, though, I haven't got Donna's powers, so Donna.
You are lucky. You are lucky. He is dead,
Right,
but he
see, I
only
told you.
died in. But he only died in 2017.
That's fair. That was still miles away. Like
God,
that's
7 years ago.
That's it.
Nearly a decade. Shit.
Why are we
But it
lucky
wasn't
that
in the
he's
bloody-
dead? Is he known for his revenge? Barry Norman.
Barry Norman revenge.
Adventures.
He's going to come back and review Nerdy Up North and say, Paul, you could have done better, son. You could have done better.
Zero.
He's got a hook for a hand, but he's still really polite about it.
This is my
Horrifying.
strong hand.
Don't, because I will start on Scary Movie 2, and this is not what we're here for.
To to be fair though, we are looking for the comedy side of horror as well. So if you haven't noticed by the look and everything, we are tackling Beetlejuice. A lot of different podcasts have tackled Beetlejuice with the release of Beetlejuice 2. We thought we'd be a bit different and do it a month after the release, just so that we're not on trend, because we're that cool and we're that edgy. But yeah.
Sadly, we did it for Monsters when Beetlejuice 2 came out, and honestly, this is just how shit my memory is. I know what we do in advance.
Yeah.
Like, I actually helped put this all together, like create like the episodes wise of what we do, and I totally forgot we were doing this episode.
Yeah, but to be fair, and like I say, I love you to bits. I was not a dick about it as well. I was just like, okay.
No, you were not. You were not. You were not, because I was like, listen, it'll be a different conversation, different people. It's only me and Dan. We'll have lots of people on for this one. It'll be fun. And obviously, I'm not bringing the facts this week. I am just here to have fun and. You know, anything. I generally can't remember the episode, to be honest. Exactly. I can't remember the episode. It's getting to that point now that I don't know what it is I've done. Yeah. So
that's not going to hold up in court, Sammy. When you see your killer charges,
I'll give it a good fucking try.
Yeah. Sammy the killer. Yeah, but yeah.
I'll bring me Dory mug in and be like, hey, that's why I get called it.
But I remember this movie when it got released because it was a long time ago. It was in the decade of the 80s, but the advertising and the marketing for this was out of this world, especially for the 80s. Like literally, this was everywhere. I didn't see it at the cinema because I was too young, but I did. I think it was one of those the white van man jobs where the videotapes we got and we saw
Man in the Van.
Man in the Van.
Dan the video man round Pennywell. Wow.
But
loved his popcorn.
But
Hey.
My biggest memory for this, because back in the day as well, when we only used to have 4 channels and then we got 5, this was one of the big movie premieres a year and a half after the cinema release, because that's how long we had to wait if you didn't get it on video. It was a year and a half, and it was when, like, say, the TV channels made a big deal when they used to get a big movie release. And I remember Beetlejuice being advertised for at least a month before it was actually aired. And the excitement about this movie, it was, like, again, a lot of different things happened about this movie, and there's a lot of different movies come out similar type of tone. But this was so different, so original from what we've seen like this. This started a career like nothing before. Like, I know Tim Burton did this come out before Scissorhands?
Okay,
Scissorhands
so
came out first.
Massively came out before then. So I do know a little. I do remember a few little facts. One and just basically the starting of this. So Burton, you don't, like I said in Monsters, you don't have this movie if Pee-wee Herman's Big Adventure didn't go the way that it did, because Burton would have just been a backshelf director and he would never have gotten this. But coincidentally, it worked out. Pee-wee Herman was a huge success because it's brilliant. And he gets not only Beetlejuice at the same time, he got Batman at the same time. He got both of them. And it paid off for him. That's all I really can remember. But it really did pay off for him. But this is why you've got Keaton in both, is because, and I don't know which way it goes first. Was it, okay, I know him from Batman, let's bring him to Beetlejuice, or is it Beetlejuice to Batman? I don't know where that, because it's one of them he brings them to.
Yeah,
and I can't remember which one it is.
Because one thing with Tim Burton, though, he is notoriously loyal to actors and actresses, or too loyal at times, where he just repeats the same actors and actresses in every fucking film. But sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That's the thing. But my only question with Beetlejuice, because I know Tim Burton has a reputation. He likes to put his name on things where he does direct and he doesn't show up. Did he show up for this one? Just asking.
Yes, yes,
Right.
yes. This is 100% him. We all know Burton's a bit of a stickler for that, but no, this is very, very much all him.
Right.
All him and Keaton, actually.
Yeah.
Keaton worked very much hand in hand with Burton to create, like, Beetlejuice is Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
There's nobody else came in and said, this is how you're meant to be. This is what we want you to emote, but they didn't really script him. This is 100% Keaton improving. And the creation, the design, everything comes from his mind. It's not Burton's, it's his. And then obviously the great V. Neil creates a masterpiece that's on his face. But I don't even want to get started on the second one because
That's fine. So Kelly, what was your first experience with the Juice?
Fucking hell. This is basically my first Tim Burton, like, injection, really. That's fueled. It was basically like tinned into the flame that was already there. I remember watching this. Oh God! So it came out in '89. So obviously it'll have been about 9. I actually watched it at an age where you shouldn't really be fucking watching Beetlejuice, to be honest. You know what I mean? But even like looking back, I didn't have a fucking clue what was going on half the time. You know what I mean? And I think it's only quite recently that I've seen the Virgin when he goes, "Nice fucking model." I nearly shit myself. I was like, he didn't swear.
But a lot of the films from the 80s were the same, where they had jokes for children, but had jokes for the adults as well. If you go back, I know everyone's going to laugh at this, the Goonies. I remember seeing the Goonies a few years ago, because I used to always just watch the TV taping. But if you watch if you watch the DVD or Blu-ray, there's swear words in it, like chunks, shit a lot. I was like, where the fuck did the Goonies swear? Like, I've never seen the Goonies swear, and it blew my mind.
It always was funny. It was always funny when we watched the Goonies in our house, because if it was on ITV, we always knew the stiff joke was going to get taken out, and then, but then when you watch the. And then when you watch the version that it has it in, you get really excited and wait for that line to come. It's a stiff. It's not even a swear word. It's just that you always knew it was that one bit that was going to get taken out of ITV.
That anticipation, man.
Yeah.
But no, I try to look for this photograph. There's a photograph, and it must have been Christmas 1990. So I would have been 4. And it was me with a naked Barbie and a Beetlejuice with the head, the Beetlejuice action figure where the head came off. Yeah, there he is. There he is. Mine's on my shelf. Looking like suitably demonic with the red eye going on. So yeah, I just, it was something that really caught my weird morbid interest, because even as a child I was like strange. I know a lot of people have been talking about watching Threads of late. When I was 4, I was watching When the Wind Blows and watching two little old people dying. It was my favourite fucking programme ever. I thought it was great because I didn't understand it. But so I was a bit weird anyway. But this, not only did you have the film, which a little bit scary and stuff, but I would say, like, I mean, my son who's 6, he's watched it. I think it's all right. Yeah. It was the stuff that came on the back of it. The animated series was fucking mint.
Yeah.
You had the comic. I used to get the comic from fucking Pennywell shops. That was fucking mint. And like, Lydia aspirations run deep with me. Like, she's just fucking. And when I just saw her, and I was just like, do you know what, babe? Like, you and me. Fucking right.
But that was it was because at that time there was a lot of like, say, like, especially in the 80s, it was like blonde Barbies, but then like there was a lot, but then they start bringing out different ones. I think we had Heathers, like Pump Up the Volume, like all the alternative stuff. All people start being like on the, not just in the background or My Little Friend type thing. It was like on the forefront, like kind of showcasing like people can be different. People can be, as to quote the Lost Boys, people can be strange. But what about you? What about you, Eel? What was your first experience with Beetlejuice? Because it seems to resonate quite a lot with you if you look at your bedroom there.
Does it?
I'm not saying it myself. Like.
You haven't paid your TV license or something. You just are black and white. Sorry.
Don't tell them. No, I was born in '88. Movie came out in '89. By the time I was probably 5 or 6, I was a total fanatic, absolutely obsessed with the film. I like a lot of things in the late '80s, early '90s. I was just kind of left to my own devices, and like, as long as she's quiet, then you know, watch whatever tape you want. Plus, having an older brother that could like sneak stuff for me also helped. But no, I became super obsessed. I had a couple of the action figures. I had one where you could take his head off and it was the shrunken head underneath.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Which
Yes.
I loved that one. And I had the carousel head one as well.
Cool.
Oh, I've seen them.
Did you?
And
did anyone
they
have
disappeared.
Did anyone have the grave? Like, I know it sounds really weird. Weird,
No.
like, having a toy grave. Well, yeah.
Kelly did.
You had the Beetlejuice grave that you could put the figure in. You would close it and pull the sign, and it's like a magic trick because when you pulled it open again, there was a little figure. It shrunk.
Kelly went losing her mind.
Fucking mid.
That's incredible.
Why did I wear eyeliner for a Kelly episode? What the fuck was I thinking? Are you seeing it? It's halfway down my face. It's good job my glasses are hiding it.
Yeah, but as you all said, the toy range and all the this was height of the 80s. Like anything that came out that they thought we can market and make a movie, make money from. Like I think there was RoboCop toys, there was Terminator 2 toys, marketed for kids, by the way. And these were adult music. And like the Beetlejuice, I think the toys followed straight after the movie, but when the cartoon came out, that's when it exploded quite a lot, quite bigly. I did hear rumours, I don't know how true it is, that they are looking to redo or rebring out the cartoon as well.
I saw something about that, yeah.
So
I don't know how I feel about I mean, I liked the cartoon as a kid. Sorry, Kelly. I really loved it. But looking back at it, I'm like, why are they friends?
Yeah.
She's like 15.
Oh god, it's noncy to the max, isn't it? It's so noncy. It's like
so noncy. Like you've got fucking zombie Savile hanging out with this goth teen.
Right.
Zombie Savile.
But that's that's in essence that's what Jimmy Savile probably. That's what probably Jimmy Savile turned into Beetlejuice now, isn't it? Really, so.
Fuck no!
I'm so sorry, Michael Keaton. I'm so sorry.
Don't taint this character with that absolute monster. Ew! And I'm saying that against a genuine, monster character.
One thing that why I love this movie as well, and again, I watched it today, like in a half sleepy, half just doing 15 million things at once. Thinking, I'll just put it in the background. I'll just pick up the things, but then becoming heavily engrossed and not be able to take my eyes off it. The story is so simple. It's such a nice story as well, which again sounds weird. It's like the perfect couple dies in a tragic way, just wanting to keep the house clean, and it creates this world, and the world is so fantastic and so, I know it sounds weird saying magical, because like with me being a strange and weird kid, you always want to know there's something out there, there's something what's there, and it's kind of like giving a little insight into that aspect, and it's done so well and colourfully as well. And they don't overcomplicate the story. They keep it very simple and very straightforward. Every person in this has a role to play, and they play the role well. And again, I know we weren't really going to talk about the second one, but when you talk about the second one, this is where they made the mistake. They overcomplicated. They had too many threads going that they don't really pay off. And I think when I spoke to Sammy about it, the way I described the second Beetlejuice movie is it's either they had ideas to do a Beetlejuice 2 and a Beetlejuice 3, and they didn't know whether it would get greenlit for a Beetlejuice 3, so they put the two movies that they wanted in the one, because what it felt like is if they have the Jenna Ortega character as the main, as that storyline, because that was an interesting story with the killer ghost, sorry, spoilers, if they follow that one through, that would have been an interesting story. Because Beetlejuice doesn't actually do anything wrong in this. He gets shafted. And then if they do a Beetlejuice 3, they could have done the like his partner coming after him.
The Dolores story.
The Dolores story, where Beetlejuice comes to the Deets for help. That would have been an interesting take and an interesting trilogy. But again, that's just me.
Someone said on a thread on Nerdy Up North, right? More plots than an allotment.
Yeah.
And I said, yes, that's exact. I'm fucking stealing that. I'm sorry, I don't know who wrote it. It's mine now. More plots than a fucking allotment. But I loved it. I just, I was sitting in the cinema just fucking buzzing off me tits, like people must have thought I was on drugs. I was sitting there going,
I can remember the lead up to you going to the cinema as well. Like, honestly, the messages you were sending was like the highlight of everything I've seen. But yeah, that's why I think the first one is leagues and heads and shoulders above any type of one, not because it's so fantastical or it has like clever switches or things. It just tells a simple story, but it does it so well, and it gets you invested in the characters, because the characters in this, like take away the person that we will not name, everyone in it, it has such an amazing part. Like Catherine O'Hara's character is so everything, and just like you feel every emotion with her, because you want to kill her, you want to hug her, you love her, you hate her. She is amazing in this, and I think again, I know she's done other stuff. I don't think she's ever getting out of the shadow of the part she played in Beetlejuice, because I know, and that's not a bad thing to say.
No, not at all.
Because
no,
she's went on and done amazing things, but she will always be known as that character because she nailed it perfectly.
I think it's a tough call, because obviously Moira Rose is a huge
I
thing
fucking
in
love
pop
Moira.
culture, but Moira certainly made an appearance in Beetlejuice too.
Yeah.
Quite a few times.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I like that.
But it kind of worked, because they are very much, if you look at Moira Rose and look at Delia, they are clothes-wise very, very similar. Delia was writ very well in Beetlejuice too. She very much fitted into how a person from then would fit into today, and she played it perfectly. But there is one moment where Moira just squeaks out, and it's when she's shouting for what's that face's name, the daughter's name?
Oh, fucking Astrid.
Astrid. When she shouts Astrid, Astrid,
come back into the house. We're mourning.
Yes,
it was the primal scream part that got me. That was, for me, that was like there's Moira. Like, what are you doing? I was just practicing my primal scream. It's very good for grief. Everybody take a turn.
Thing is, I can totally get Delia because becoming Moira totally, and I do think like in a sort of like a weird kind of sliding doors world, maybe they are the same person.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, bearing in mind she probably took a lot.
Outfits are crazy. Like
when she. Oh, go on. Sorry, Kelly.
There's a bit where, do you know He Who Shall Not Be Named?
Yeah.
Is wearing a jumper watching the birds.
Mm-hmm.
She's wearing that jumper as a pair of trousers, and it's just like
that
is so Moira. It's just so like, oh, I'll just wear this jumper as a pair of pantaloons.
But it's so Delia as well. Like the thing is, look at it from Catherine O'Hara's perspective. She does Schitt's Creek on the basis that she probably will never ever deal with Delia Dietz. I can't say it again. That's like in the back of her head. She's never playing that character again. So why not draw from it and create this absolute spectacle that is Moira Rose? And then years later, finding out that she is actually going to be playing her again, and it's like, oh shit, what did I do?
Oh, I love it. Oh, absolutely love it.
I love the fact that Winona Ryder had it in her contract in Stranger Things from the I think this is the very start, or was it amended? But that if Beetlejuice 2 ever came up, she would have to take time off to film it. That's in her Stranger Things contract. And the Duffer Brothers agreed to it because at the time nobody was talking about it. There was nothing being met. I mean, obviously, the whole thing with Kevin Smith, it's been, Beetlejuice in Hawaii and shit like that. But it was never taken serious.
Yeah.
If Burton was never going to be involved, neither was anyone else. So they just went, yeah, you can do that. And then all of a sudden, leading up to the last series of Stranger Things, she's like, I got to take a break. This is in my contract. I've got to... And there potentially is the reason why it's a little bit delayed for.
All right, I didn't know that. I knew it was delayed for reasons because like trying to get the story right and stuff because it's the final season, and I think they are panicking how to finish Stranger Things. I'll be honest with you. It's like they've been such a juggernaut, and they don't want another Game of Thrones. I think.
Oh, let's just have it all be a dream.
No.
And we wake up and we wake up in the garage of the kids, and they've just been playing the game the whole time.
I'll go.
No, 11 gets fully taken over by Vecna. slaughters everyone, um,
Like that.
Wow.
snakes into the world, apocalypse.
Dead.
That's it. Everyone's dead.
The end.
Yeah.
Everyone's a hive mind of Vecna, and 11 is just like, oh,
So it
on top of it all.
morphs into the Matrix type thing. But
Yeah, and that's when the Matrix films start. So it's actually
And then
the whole
Keanu
thing's been a
Reeves is at
prequel
the
for the
end.
Matrix. Yeah.
In his
Yeah.
office.
why isn't Hollywood coming?
Kissing a
Good.
white rabbit.
Whoa.
I have to get Nick Cage.
Why
in
aren't I
this.
writing for this?
Yeah.
Right, come on.
We need to
Get my agent on the phone.
We need to get Nick Cage involved somehow. Like, say, Nick Cage has to be involved in anything.
Oh.
now.
Yeah.
Always.
But yes. So with many tangents I've lost now. But yeah.
It's fine.
The main cast, that as you said, the story with Beetlejuice, like the two main counterparts, because you think the film called Beetlejuice or Beetlejuice, if it was originally initially.
Yeah, that really confused me. The
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice and Beetlejuice. I always thought I was spelling it wrong,
Mhm.
spelling it Beetlejuice, because when you see it online, sometimes it's Beetlejuice, and I'm like, am I the? Because I panic, because with us being dyslexic, I always panic that I'm spelling shit wrong, and then I'm like, oh no, I'm actually right.
No,
It's juice.
I think it was changed its name halfway through production or something like that. But the main the main actors in this is like the Adam and Barbara characters. Them are the main focus of most of the film, and I think they are absolutely brilliant in this. And again, I'm not the biggest Alec Baldwin fan.
I
hate him.
Baldwin.
Hate the Baldwins.
But
Fuck me.
there's not many films
Alright.
you could watch and then enjoy. Like I was like, but in this, because I don't know, because it's very Baldwin-esque.
It doesn't look like him.
No, it doesn't feel like
That's
him either.
not Baldwin.
No.
It's not Baldwin's face. I don't know whose face that is, but that is not Alec Baldwin's face. I just can't get away with it.
Alec Baldwin was in an 80s film very close to this. Oh God, John Hughes. She's having a baby.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Kevin Bacon in.
Mhm.
And I see, like, I kind of lump these two sort of like kind of performances together, even though they're different people, because he's a bit of a cock in
Well,
you know,
yeah.
the other film, but he looks the same. I can kind of see him as like a
I just can't
person
see him.
of that time, but then like when I see him now, I'm like,
What happened to your face?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't-
it's like
no,
all I can think of him is 30 Rock, Alec Baldwin. Or this is the fourth time I've said this on these podcasts. My Sister's Keeper. That's Alec Baldwin. I'm sick of saying that film's name and admitting that I've watched it.
Or his cameo on Friends. That was the only thing I kind of liked him in.
oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I loved him. I have to admit, I really loved him in Team America World Police. I thought he did such a good job.
It was brilliant. Alec Baldwin.
He's never been less wooden. It was a beautiful performance.
It was Oscar worthy. Complete
It
Oscar
was.
worthy.
Yeah.
We nearly came close to
Absolutely.
watching that last night.
Oh dear.
Nearly came this close because Anth hadn't seen the South Park movie from the 90s, so we watched that last night. I know. When he's been singing the songs all day from it, I was like, "Have you actually seen it?" And he was like, "No." And I was like,
Oh.
"We got rectifying that." But
Okay,
going back to Alec,
yeah.
Baldwin and
Gina Davis.
what's her name? Gina Davis. So the original script for this was horrible. It was brutal. Their death scene was going to be absolutely horrific. So, but they took it all out. Obviously, just screamed it all out. But there is one bit that is left in that didn't get skimmed out and kind of might not make any sense if you don't know how they originally were meant to die. When she walks into the house and he goes, "How's your arm?" And she goes, "Oh, it's fine, but I feel cold." Her arm was meant to be completely and utterly mutilated.
All right.
really?
Yeah. And it was the whole death scene was so graphic and so gruesome. And that's the one bit that kind of left in to indicate how bad it was.
Yeah.
But we obviously don't get that. We get all the light and fluffy, they just fall into the water, and then the next thing you see is them being wet.
No, because I remember you saying on the Monsters, because I do watch Monsters. This wasn't meant to be. This wasn't meant to be a comedy, was it? It was meant to be like a full-on horror.
It was going to be like a proper gore fest.
Yeah.
And he was going to be, and it probably was like it was probably Keaton and the creation of Beetlejuice that might have like changed things. Because look at him,
Yeah.
you can't put him in that kind of a serious role and take it serious. You either do comedy or you don't use him at all.
No, definitely, and I think it's such a telling and iconic performance, and it's amazing to think as well, because a lot of people will think of Beetlejuice and think it's a Michael Keaton movie. He's only in it for 15 minutes. Screen time.
It's 9 minutes.
He fucking makes it as well, and he makes such an impact. The little snippets where he is, he really piques your interest. You know, that like fucking random guy riding a fucking fake cow on the advert. You're like, giddy up, you know what I mean? It's just
Get
like,
on a horse.
Come on now, chew on the dog. Oh.
leading up to the Monsters episode, and obviously leading up to Beetlejuice 2, I jumped on the hype train. And honestly, I loved it. I loved every second of it, and I still kind of get that little warm, fuzzy feeling about it. But I watched the original 4 times in one day, and I genuinely didn't mean to do it.
Right.
I was Amazon must have been on a loop, and because I'm writing notes out and I was doing other things, I didn't realize it kept playing over and over again. So I ended up watching it 4 times in one day, and I was like, I don't feel like I can watch this film anymore for a long time. I'm gonna have to like leave it now. But honestly, every time it kept coming around, I was like, you know what? I'm not even mad at this. Like, I'm really not.
Continue.
Sorry, hold 2 seconds.
That's
Technical issue.
That's fine. Just regarding, like I say, the movie as well. Because you know what I'm like. I always bang on about how much the 80s was better. The 80s did everything better. Like the 80s was the decade for storytelling. This doesn't feel like an 80s movie. This feels like a 90s movie. I'll be honest with you. Like with everything that came out, because I think
it was on the cusp, wasn't it?
Because like everything that Burton did after this, like Burton changed the game for a lot of different aspects. Like not just for himself, because like say after Beetlejuice, then Edward Scissorhand, he went absolutely nuclear. He done like the Batman movies. Like literally though, it then started giving a showcase to like the alternative goth. And a lot of the movies that we still get today. I think a lot of the stuff that Burton does now, he needs to be edited or to be pared back a little bit, because he doesn't know when to stop. I think the last movie I really loved from Tim Burton was Big Fish.
I fucking love Big Fish.
Oh, I love that movie.
Oh my God.
I actually haven't seen it. What's the... I don't know why you're surprised for.
I'm not gonna watch it.
What's the one with the artist? Big Eyes? Was it called Big
Ed Wood.
Eyes? No, fuck off. I know what Ed Wood is.
No, there was
I don't know what Ed Wood is. Pet.
There was a gothic artist where he was going around painting all the women with big eyes.
Yeah, it's actually called Big Eyes, and it's Tim Burton. It's Amy Adams, Margaret King, Christoph Waltz, and Kristen Ritter. Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful film.
When did that come out? Where I've been living under a fucking rock.
2014.
Right. But
me and my sister watched it. It's
that
absolutely beautiful. It was for me.
I can't even remember, and I pride myself on my Burton fucking knowledge. You know what I mean? So
fine.
Jesus,
we're really getting an up close and personal view of Ale right now.
Sorry.
Are you okay?
We're all right. My laptop I thought was plugged in. It was not.
No.
Which bit of the charger was not connected? So that was fun. I found it. We're okay.
That's fine. Don't worry. We've had worse things that's happened at sea. I just thought you were being
the things I do for attention. No.
You will love me. Show me the camera. But yeah, like say when this movie came out, it kind of changed the game for a lot of different things, like a lot of different aspects. But when you're watching it back, there is just absolute brilliance in it. Like the practical effects in this is not just like, I know Tim Burton is renowned for it, but it sets the standard for a lot of different things. I know there's a few little CGI moments, so little camera tricks. I know I watched it in 4K today, and I wish they did go back in and re-edit when he gets his head shrunk, because it was literally one of the looks like it was just done with like on a mobile phone now, or a Nokia 63 or something could have done better graphics than
Yeah.
that. But other than that, everything is just amazing. Like they're going from like the Malden and the Beetlejuice snake to the whole house. Everything
Gorgeous.
just is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And when they're in the afterworld as well, all the different aspects, like the different dead bodies and the way people died, is just like the touches and like going from Miss Argentina, who became iconic, and I didn't know till the other day that's her out of the three amigos.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
It
yes.
is.
Yeah.
She's an absolute stunner of a woman.
Yeah.
She was a very unknown, wasn't she? Everyone in that waiting room is a civil servant.
Yeah.
There was the joke that they said. What did they say? That hell is just full of civil servants, and
well, you know about people who commit suicide.
Suicide.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. Yeah, and they're all, and every single one of them did. My favorite is Juno.
Yeah, which
because it takes you. It just takes you so long to notice it, though, and you still forget every time you watch it that there's something there until you see it.
And they say the smoke.
Yeah, and it's practical.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all practical.
That was done all practically, which is genius. So just they had to time it every time she took a puff of her cigarette. They would have to take a puff down here and just let it up the tube.
Hey, I mean,
I love that.
Steve McQueen did it in The Blob. He just flat out smoked, even though his character didn't. You can see he actually used to, between takes, just used to put his cigarette behind his back, and you can see the smoke coming up if you watch the original Blob.
But like watching this film back, this must have been like amazing for you, because I know you're into the special effects and the practical effects side of it yourself. Like you've actually wanted to get involved in it yourself. So this must have been like just watching just gold on the screen.
I think it might have been the first time I'd seen stop motion animation that wasn't for kids.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't Pingu, it wasn't more. Suddenly you've got these like these weird juttery, jittery. Yeah, but like even that, it's the sculptures that get me. I find them really deeply disturbing and uncomfortable because it's like they do kind of like a funny. I don't know if it's a frame rate thing or if it's just the way it was animated, but it's so perfectly disturbing and gross. It does something to me. And also that, come to think of it, I can't remember if I've divulged this before. I have only one phobia, and it's a weird one, and I swear to God it's real. I can't deal with topiaries, shaped hedges. I can't deal with them. Right. And I think maybe Julia's sculptures might have something to do with that. And it's just clicked in my head that that might be why.
So if you
don't read The Shining, pet. Didn't read The Shining.
No, don't.
Animals and
hedge animals.
Oh no,
yeah.
Weirdly, it's the animals don't bother me. Right. The animals coming to life and like, nope, that doesn't bother me. Just why is it conical?
Right. So sharp edge bushes.
No.
Right.
Sharp or round. Don't do them. Don't like them.
So many
bushes. This is a PSA.
How do you feel about Edward Scissorhands?
Keep your bush wild.
That's the joke I'm trying to stay away from.
But Ale just came out and said this. And I've just had I honestly nearly said the most stupid thing of my life is, why is Binks behind Ale?
Right.
And it nearly came out my mouth.
Not your cat.
Not my cat.
Not your
cat. My cat. No, mine's not here either. I was like, Jesus, that looks exactly like Binks, but every black cat looks like Binks, so
well, that's
black cat looks like Binks.
That's Laszlo.
That's Laszlo Cravensworth, Saber Higgin, and Leviathan is behind me, and Juno is over there, named after Juno the caseworker.
Yeah. Oh, my caseworker.
So, Juno is my caseworker.
Oh, I love that. Beetlejuice's makeup.
Yes.
If we're going to be talking about practical and the effects and everything, that face is absolutely sculpted so well, so perfectly painted, so beautifully put together. Why couldn't they follow the same for the second time? Why? And Novi Neil had nothing to do with it this time on the second one. Don't know why we couldn't find anything as to say why she hadn't been asked for. The person who did do the makeup for the second one is one of the best hair designers in the business. Like if you go and have a look at her credentials of the hair that she has done, there is some amazing work there. And all of Lydia and Delia's hair, is all done by her.
I think,
but she just could not quite get the makeup, how brilliantly, because it's the mold and everything looked just like dirt.
I think the problem they had, and again, not to like, because Father Time comes to us all, they concentrated more on
hiding his wrinkles,
de-aging them than keeping the thing. But with anything that you do, like, again, I know, as you said, if it's not Neil that's doing it, if they'd went out and just done the exact same thing, they probably wouldn't get any plaudits or anything to say, oh, you've done a good makeup, you've just copied Neil. So it's again, it's putting your own spin on it or your own version. So I don't mind that. It's just the only thing, like, again, I know I talked about the second one. The only thing that's been a little bit disappointing when it comes to the second movie is the marketing and the kind of the stuff that came out, like, to buy, is just been Beetlejuice 1 stuff. There's not really much other than the Bob character is new or different from Beetlejuice 2. That's like that you would expect, but but I know it sounds crazy. This is a month on since Beetlejuice 2 has been released, and people are still interested. People talking. This character or this franchise has more legs than possibly people do expect. The nostalgia factor is so strong because of the strong footing that it gave. But there's so much, and again, I know I talked about it before, the world building that it did so subtly and so well. It gives you so much, like it says, oh, when you go out the house, you go to the deserts in Saturn. Why is that? No one's ever told you, but it's just like you just take it as fact because it's one thing. It's one of the most ridiculous things as well. And there's these sandworms that are honestly the most ridiculous looking things, but they look amazing, and they're again so iconic and so well done. It only coming out of the mind of a genius or a madman that Tim Burton is, and I think he does flirtate or fluctuate between that on a lot of stuff he does. But with the 3 movies he did quite close together, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Beetlejuice, and Edward Scissorhand, them were his 3 perfect movies that he kind of, like, say, got right in every single element. Which is quite a testament, because there's not many directors or filmmakers, like if you take like probably like Spielberg or anyone else, or I'll give him his due, Peter Jackson out the way, that will have the same type of, like, kind of not back catalogue, but like if you put the movies together, that could probably stand up to these ones.
It's crazy to me that everything rides on the back of Pee-wee.
Yeah.
Like,
a lot of friendships he found there, like Danny Elfman. If it fucking right, I needed to get Danny Elfman in because, like, he's fucking beautiful. Like, he's my favorite ginger. Oh, sweet Jesus!
Sorry, Goodwill.
There's a dog.
Sorry, Goodwill.
Oh, he's over at Goodwill, man. You know what I mean? Anyway, so, but it's just like he forged connections.
Yeah.
At the beginning that we're going to serve him all the way fucking through. And I actually find it's like, you know, not like having like milk and sugar with your tea. You need both. I actually find, you know what I mean? And Elfman is the sugar, Burton's the milk, and putting the music with Tim Burton's, it's just they've worked together so much,
beautifully,
and it's so fucking good.
But it just
this film, I mean, you know, when you're going up the model, going up the fucking model, you're just like, fucking mint! Oh my god, it's Beetlejuice! Oh my god!
You know exactly where you're at when that music kicks in, don't you?
Tingling fucking orchestra. It's like, it's basically a big goth orchestra. Fucking mint. Fucking class. Absolutely awesome.
Elfman, he was like the first name attached. It's when the whole news came out. It's like, right, Danny Elfman's involved. Everyone was like, okay, that's perfect. I saw Danny Elfman in 2019.
Oh god!
And it was beautiful.
Did you know he was married to Bridget Fonda?
Yes.
I did not fucking know that.
Yes, been married for a very, very long time. She I don't want to say she stopped her career, but she definitely took a back seat for his to raise their
Focus on
children.
they had the
But she is
son,
completely unrecognizable. Not for any of
Oh, yes.
not in a bad way or anything like that.
No.
She looks. I think she looks
She's
perfect.
normal.
Uh-huh.
Just like a person, like, yeah, but
It's
like, just thinking
you know,
about it,
she
like
allow
Jackie
age.
Brown, you know, where she's just like, thank you,
Oh.
Jackie Brown, you know, and like The Assassin with Gabriel Byrne. Fucking love that film. Oh, yes. But I didn't realise that. And
Yeah.
also, he was in the band that made, you know, the song for Weird Science, another one
Yeah.
of my favourite 80s films. I
Yeah.
did not realise that was him. I was like, fucking
talk about the music side as well, because
you have to.
I think it's a miss that if we like talk about Beetlejuice, we don't talk about the two iconic scenes in Beetlejuice. Like they've got the one bit is like Dale,
Harry Belafonte, man, must have been fucking buzzing
oh,
wherever he was, you know, thinking, yeah, listen to my tunes, fucking right. But what's just so weird about it, it's a Jamaican folk song about, right, I'm fucking knackered. I've been putting these bananas on this ship. Can I go home? You know what I mean? And it's just like, when you're listening to it and you're just like, fucking hell, this is catchy as fuck, giving it this, and everyone's getting possessed and dancing and like a tarantula, fucking class. And you're thinking, do you know what? It's a little bit like the Sam Cooke song, Chain Gang, which is quite sad. That's the sound of the men working on the chain gang. This is the sound of the geezers putting the bananas on the boat and the fucking knackers. It's a sad song. They want to go, hey, Mr. Tallyman, help me bananas so I can get home. That's
I can't believe Kelly has managed to turn that song into something.
What? But that's what it is.
Well,
that's what it's about.
I actually did not know that. Now that you're saying it, I can hear the song in my head.
The dock workers are doing the night shift. They're loading the bananas on the ships. They're fucking knackered. I've worked night shift. I know the feeling, although I wasn't loading bananas. I was looking after the elderly. But, you know, daylight's come and they want to go home. They want to have a kid.
Kelly's finally broken us, I think. I normally can keep a composure from everything, but yeah.
Well, I'm gonna change it a little bit, because for all the songs are great in the first one and the music is fantastic. There's one thing, and I know a lot of people have a lot of opinions on the second one and the music choice, but I actually think that the song that they used was it MacArthur Park?
Yes.
Richard Harris.
Yes.
I thought that was absolute. Yeah, but I thought it was perfect because it's kind of telling you it's not going to be the same as the first one. We're never going to have that again. You're going to have to accept we're kind of moving on. And I thought that song was absolutely perfect, even though all I could picture in my head when it was on is Manila Luzon and Delta Work doing one of the best lip syncs I've ever fucking seen and crying. Yeah. But yeah, I genuinely thought that was such a good choice. And I know a lot of people kind of disagreed, but I actually liked it.
But
I lost my mind when I found out who sung it. Lost my tiny little mind. It's fucking Dumbledore. No, it's Richard Harris.
Shut the front door.
It fucking is.
But coming back to the performance during this song,
look at Paul trying to bring it back round.
Yeah. Also, fucking Dumbledore, punk name for a band. I called it. It's pretty bad. Fucking Dumbledore.
But that dinner scene, that performance where everyone on that table as well, like just from like the sheer just like what's happening, then everyone's kind of getting like possessed to go involved, and it's like scared, enjoying it, but then it's kind of like the whole scene, like that dinner scene is one of the more iconic movie scenes as well. And then you get the end scene where like Lydia's coming in saying, "Oh, I got a C for science, but an A for maths," and like they play with her a little bit, saying, "Oh, can't you do it?" And you're like, "What they're gonna do?" And you just hear the music kick on, and it's just absolutely breathtaking, and it will forever always be known. As soon as you hear that, like even the drum beat, you just can't help but think of Beetlejuice and wanting to be Lydia Deetz in that moment and floating and singing along to it as well.
It's crazy
Yeah,
that Harry
absolutely.
Belafonte got like, he was a bloke in the 50s. This is a film from 89. And what it boils down to is the fact that, Adam and Barbara were
Mhm.
just two. Have you not
Very.
noticed, really, the really weird, sad couple vibes? Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Shit decor.
Well, to be fair
Really
though,
sad.
they hinted that it was hinted that it was going to be quite dark with the story because you had that realtor, the friend that was trying to get them to sell the house because the house is too big, and kept on mentioning about her not having a kid, and then
Yeah.
and then
That
Barbara,
was awful. That
yeah.
was awful. But I got some really like just sad couple vibes. Like, what's she fucking wearing? And she's wearing that for the rest of her life. You know what I mean? He's got his
Yeah.
plaid fucking shirt. But he's downstairs and he realizes he needs some, what they're called, nails. I need to go down to the store. And he's listening to Harry Belafonte, men being smart and women smarter. Anyway, and it's his like fucking. Like, that's his taste in music. And I'm like, dude, it's the 80s. You know what I mean? And you're
Yeah,
listening like
that's
this, like
his
really
jam.
fucking really weird stuff. Fair enough. And apparently they go for nails at the start. And it's 7 o'clock in the morning.
It's his
I'm
store.
like, is it his?
Yeah,
He
it's his store.
Yes.
It's his
It's
name on the front.
Maitland's. Yeah,
Maitland's
it's
store.
Maitland's hardware store. Yeah,
He goes in, opens the door, and locks it on the way out.
I was
ignores the
wondering,
barber
he just
completely.
puts the fucking money in. I thought, you little what the hell? That's his shop.
No, it's his shop. It's the Maitland shop. Yeah, it's
Oh
his.
my
It's also
God,
like
I've been on the wrong fucking page for a while. But like,
Yes, you have.
that makes them even
In
more
that-
damn bastard.
But the question asked
that little dog as well.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the
Fuck
final
off.
destination moment.
It's the
Because
fact
you
he's
see
just
that little
deadpan
dog
staring
just
at
like
them.
And he just battered
Good
his
cameo.
fucking tail.
But do you think the dog
Hi,
knew
do
what?
you want to say hi?
Do you think the dog knew what it was doing? Oh,
Dog knew what it was doing.
It's a void.
The dog thought you are a sad bastard couple who go to the shop at 7 o'clock in the morning. And you
It'll
got
put
They
your
almost
hat down.
hit it on-
It's stretching its arms out.
Yeah, this is what she does. This is she'll look.
She's like,
She just melts,
so cute.
and that's where she will remain.
Oh,
No, they nearly hit the dog on the way to the hardware store. I only
Yes.
noticed that today on that
Yes,
watch.
they do.
And it's like nobody is bothering their arse. Whose dog is this? No one's like, oh,
It's
maybe that
Beetlejuice's
could cause some
dog.
trouble. No, let's just have wild dogs.
They're not
These
even
wild dogs just roaming.
they're not
in
even
this-
angry at the
this-
dog when they get home
But
either.
did no one have that in the 80s though as well? Because a lot of the 80s where dogs used to roam the streets, there wasn't really. I know growing up in Riot, little mining village, like people's dogs used to open the door and let the dog walk around the streets.
Yes,
Yeah.
we had a dog out in the street called Scruffy,
Right.
and it was a scruffy-looking dog, and it was called Scruffy. And I remember I saved that fucking dog's life, and it bit us, right?
Right.
Because do you know how I would have managed to get on its knees? Do you know the roses, the cardboard roses? Sweetie.
Right.
Oh, right,
Sweet-
yeah,
Container. So literally, its poor little head was contained in this, kind of mathematical foldage, and I took it off his head
Right.
to save him, and he bit us. But yeah, dogs just used to. I remember being attacked by a dog who was bigger than me, and it was a golden retriever, and I thought it was giving me a cuddle, but it was actually trying to have sex with me, because I saw the thing, and I'd never seen that before.
So on this podcast we've had revelations. Kelly has been sexually assaulted by a golden retriever. Yeah.
Ill scared of hedges.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, not all hedges. Hashtag.
No.
Not all bush.
She likes an unkept bush. That's all that we're leaving there. But yeah.
Oh Christ. Can I just talk about the side character Ortho for a second?
Yes.
Yes.
I want to get this out the way with poor Ortho no longer with us anymore, hence the reason why he's not in the second one. What I love this character. I think he's absolutely fantastic. The actor who plays him, Glenn, can't think of his surname now.
Glenn.
He's absolute Hedrick, something like that. No, that's the other guy from Face Off. Anyways, he's lovely. I just love him. Absolutely love him. But I think Burton really, really did a disservice to him in the second one. And it didn't sit well with us. It actually left a really bad taste in my mouth. If you know this person and you knew when he died, he at his funeral had the song Dio sang, and it was done exactly the same way as you heard it in the second one that they used for He Who Shall Not Be Named's funeral. And I fucking hated that. So distasteful. He had that at his funeral. That was his, and Burton took it and put it into Beetlejuice 2 for that monster's funeral.
Right.
That did
no, I don't like
very
that.
well with me.
No, but the awful character, like the actor you said, he's one of those people that you never know his name, but you
Shaddix, Glenn Shaddix.
Shaddix, that's it.
Name, fucking right. I didn't even have to look at my phone. Yeah.
But
where's my phone?
But the thing is, though, with him as well, he's one of those characters that you always recognise and you see in so many different movies. But you always go, it's that guy. I think it's the same as what's he called? Him out of Happy Days of his brother. That's in all the different movies.
Well, what's his name? Howard.
Ron Howard.
Ron Howard and his brother, man.
His brother's in literally everything, but you don't know his name. It's like always like a bit part or like a background character. He's in I think he's in the new Terrifier movie, isn't he? Or was that someone else?
Clint.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Clint Howard. He is like
Clint.
I would dare say when it comes down to movies, he is so much bigger than his brother. I know his brother's directed some big things, but his credit titles are much more impressive than his brother's.
Yeah.
I wonder who's got the most money though. That's the thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. Out of the Howards, he's doing all right.
Well, yeah. So when we'll talk about the movie as well, I know I've just talked about the two iconic scenes. Is there anything that stands out for you that you remember that you always loved going back? And I know there's the iconic quips and lines and stuff like don't trust the living. Is there anything that kind of stands out for you? Is that like always like even if it just leaves a warm and fuzzy feeling in your stomach and stuff as well? I'll go to Eel and ask her that question.
I think, completely not warm and fuzzy, but the realization as I got older that Lydia was writing out her suicide note.
Yes.
Yes. Years later, because you're thinking she's 15, she's stuck with a stepmother she can't stand. And Delia's actually, she's a pain in the ass, but she's not a bad person. She's
not the worst. Yeah.
She's just entitled. And her dad's just kind of like not really all that. Yeah, just kind of not that fussed, not that invested. And they can't see that she is so genuinely miserable, that she is looking to get into the other side, which is quite horrific. But also, like, the bit that stands out for me on the back of that is when Beetlejuice is asking for her help to get out, and she's like, I want to get in. And he's like, genuinely, the only genuine thing he says in the whole film is, why?
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, whatever, you must have your reasons. But it's like a real pause of, what? What do you mean?
You don't want to come here.
If you made Beetlejuice all serious, like, that's a big, let's not do that.
No.
You know, let's do the opposite of whatever that was, because that's not a good idea. Yeah.
No, I quite like that, but then you get the element as well, the kind of you get the warm and fuzzies, because as I mentioned about Barbara and Adam at the start, they mentioned about not being able to have kids, and it's kind of like they adopt Lydia at the end because they kind of
steal her,
steal her away,
steal the child.
They kind of treat her like she's like they're more invested in Lydia than her own father and stepmom is. It's like
she feels like she has to leave this mortal coil to have that, but it's so sweet that the dynamic eventually becomes this kind of like weird blended co-parenting family, which is just like so wonderful. And like, you know, obviously they're still upstairs sculpting and reading or books about ornithology because, of course, why would they have changed as people?
Yeah.
We've all learned lessons here, except for the Deepses.
Yeah.
Because their daughter's still hanging out with ghosts who are raising her.
Yeah.
You know, it's
What could go wrong with that? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you know, she turned out kind of fine.
But saying that,
in a way.
But you're saying that though. I think if you look at modern, or especially in the 80s, probably parenting from the ghost side would be better than most parents from the 80s, because they forced you to watch TV shows like Rolf Harris, Jimmy Savile. Just saying.
Will Jim will fix it?
I used to love Animal Hospital.
Yeah.
I had the Animal Hospital bunny.
It was these cartoons.
Yeah.
Because with my dad being an artist, we always used to have to watch anything to do, like, you know, art attack and shit like that. Yeah, he loves stuff like that. So yeah, we had to watch that.
I'm saying this now: if anything ever comes out about Neil Buchanan, I'm fucking off of this world.
I'm off the planet. Just stop the world. I'm jumping off.
Yeah. Don't tell me anything about Tony Hart as well. Tony Hart was a saint.
If you dare.
Yeah.
Or Tony Robinson.
Don't you dare. Oh God, no, not Tony Robinson.
No, I couldn't handle it. Honestly, I couldn't handle it. That'd be it.
No, I heard that Rowan Atkinson was involved, but that was about it. But that, yeah.
I can deal with that. Like, you know, he played not very well on the telly. I can deal with that. I can deal with someone being a dick. I cannot obviously deal with the rest of it. So please don't do it. Can I go next out? Just because it's not a warm and fuzzy feeling. It's just a moment that I always wait for, and I've used this in videos that I've done, and I've watched people do voiceovers for it. It will always be the qualifications.
Oh, yes.
What are your qualifications, bit?
Yeah.
Well, I intended Juilliard.
I lived through the Black Plague and had a very good time doing that.
Yeah.
I've seen The Exorcist.
I've seen The Exorcist 137 times. It just keeps getting funnier every single time.
But I never noticed until this year that he turns around at the end and goes, "Do you think I'm qualified?" I have never heard him say that until this year.
Plus the fact you're talking to a dead guy.
I was gonna say, didn't your co-host do the impression as well, bless her?
She did. Yes. She did. And do you know, it took us a while to realise what it is she was doing. I was like, hang on a minute, I know this. But it's the end bit. I never realised until this year. After he's done it all, I thought he just goes quiet and goes, But he doesn't. He goes, "Do you think I'm qualified?" And I'm like, "Hello."
I'm just laughing at Chris.
Millennium.
Chris in the chat's saying, "I hope Michaela Strachan's not a Rogan."
Oh God, that would. And who else? Challenge Annika. I used to fucking run into her every week, wanting a fucking play park on the field next to mine. Right?
Were you waiting for the helicopter?
Yeah.
I was waiting for that fucking helicopter every Saturday. Every Saturday.
Running bitch.
I'll do everything I can to get the Krypton factor back just for you.
Oh God, I love that.
Oh my God. I always thought I would be that good that I would be able to complete that.
Yeah.
And now I'm like 41 going, you could break a fucking hip doing something like that.
Yeah.
And the Crystal Maze.
Crystal Maze. Crystal Maze.
Yeah.
The dragon. I don't know if you remember this. Another complete tangent here. Sorry, Paul. But the do you remember there was like a medieval section?
Zone.
Yeah.
The medieval zone. And there was
Favorite?
the dragon, and the game was you had to like sneak in and get the eggs without the dragon waking up.
Yes.
That was my absolute. I was absolutely convinced that I could do that. 1,000%. Like,
I'm sure
I got this,
there's
guys.
an escape room in Manchester where it's basically based on the Crystal Maze.
Shut up.
It's expensive, but you've got you pay for your team and stuff. But it's got like a full Crystal Maze situation. I might look into that and see what we get a team.
So we're signing up. So in the chat, sign up. Let us know if you're interested.
For Crystal Maze.
Medieval Zone was the best one. Like Mumsy, I loved it when Mumsy was there. Oh, Mumsy,
yes,
with the riddles.
If we're going to bring back old TV shows, let's just bring the whole back and go Nightmare. Let's do it.
Yes. Oh my God, I love Nightmare so much.
To be fair though, we'll just put a helmet on Chris and just tell him to walk into the wall and just watch him do that for 15 times. But
But
yes.
Chris has just said he thought he could do the gladiators, but he got out of breath for sitting up the other day. So.
To be fair, they would fucking eat him. He's about 2 foot tall, bless him.
Do you know what it could be to his bandage though? He could just hurry on past them, get away from them.
I've seen the. Have you seen the documentary about the American gladiators?
Yeah, it was crazy.
That was brutal. Like they were actually slamming people. Sorry, I know we're going on all the tangents now, but they were slamming people down. They didn't have mats, so people were like dislocating hips. They had to stop getting guests on because they were injuring them halfway through the episode. Because they had to look at different rules. Like people got like knees dislocated, shoulders broken, and stuff like that. Because when you one of the ones called Powerball, where you put the ball in like different areas.
And then the gladiator would come and get you and fling you away.
Yeah, they were proper rugby tapping you on concrete. There was
no.
there was no crash mats or anything like that. But
no health and safety whatsoever. It's on Netflix. Honestly, if you've not seen it, watched it. But I feel like tangents are okay in this episode, given that the last few we've done, we've been pretty good staying on topic. So it's kind of like a build up of all these tangents.
It's a treat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And after last week, I feel like we need to have a good release.
Exercise the demons.
Exactly. We need to have a good laugh and remember it's not all bleak.
Carry on. Sorry, there's something's coming through the screen coming at you now.
Oh, Caroline.
They're here. But yeah.
Very different Poltergeist movie.
What about you, Kelly? What would you say stands out in your memory for the
Oh
juice?
God, just the model. I wish I could just get in the film and just immerse myself and just looking around. It's so fucking creepy. The fact that there's this fucking demon living in your model. You know what I mean?
You know what pissed me off about the model today though? Really annoyed us. I don't know why it irritated us so much. You know when they find Beetlejuice and he's in his coffin?
Oh, they dig him up, aye.
Why did they dig him up? Why couldn't they just peel back the layers? Because when they were digging, the layers were moving. Could they not?
Why is he?
I was like, why are they digging cardboard? Just peel it back. I was like, I don't know. It really irritates the ear.
Do you not think that's helps his big reveal though? Like when
he needs it to be released.
Yes. And I will also say there were layers, yes, but they weren't. It wasn't like a clean bit they could just lift off. So you would have to break through it anyway. Right. So you had to get through the cork level, and then all your various there was foam.
I've got it. As I know why, Paul. I know why you're pissed off, because he gets that fly, and he didn't have to dig through the layers, did he?
No.
He's got the Bruce bar. And he gets the fly, and it really used to upset us when the fly would go, hey,
how does the fly talk?
I'm not talking about the
doing the voice.
Yeah, probably is, just I'm playing with my food.
But how sadistic, that shows you how sadistic Beetlejuice is. He's eating a fly, but then putting a fly voice.
He drinks the fly.
I can't believe in the movie of possession, of demons, of ghosts, that you were bothered about a fucking fly.
I get upset about animals, right? Yeah. And fly, that was a big fly, right? That was a big one. But I don't know. Yes, so I do particularly tell you who gives us warm fuzzies. Michael Keaton, and even though he's 72, I still wad any day of the week. My God, he is still.
He is Batman.
He's just a beautiful man.
He's beautiful. He'll always be my Batman. I liked him as Batman. He was always my Batman.
But how lovely though in the last few years, I'm going to go into the mind of Keaton, and it's you've done these iconic roles. You were Beetlejuice, you were Batman, and that's it. Your time's over, and you've done some amazing films. The Founder is probably one of my favourite Michael Keaton films. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, in 2020, it's shit, I'm Batman again. Shit, 2024, I'm Beetlejuice again. In his career, I don't think that should be happening. He's made some very good fucking choices over the last few years. And then to be like,
Yeah.
oh, hang on, I can actually go, I'm going to go back into these
Yeah.
iconic roles that I did in the 80s and bring them into the, 2000s. It's mental.
It's brave.
Oh,
I'll give him that. I think
So brave.
because that these choices
Yeah.
could have went so wrong. Because let's be honest, the Flash was a hot mess, but he was actually brilliant in the
But
Flash.
he wasn't. Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah. Totally
Yeah.
agree.
I know, like say the Batgirl movie that we will never see. He's done interviews and said
Oh.
the film wasn't that bad. I got paid a lot of money, so I don't mind.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Whatever.
if they don't want to release it.
Yeah, fair.
The Beetlejuice one again. Beetlejuice 2, I know we've talked about it before, it was a watered down version of Beetlejuice 1. It's hard to say that because we only got 10 minutes of Beetlejuice in the original, but it felt like a very docile and not really like a full. I know they tried to give him a backstory, which was fun, but it kind of then goes back.
Was it
again,
needed?
It goes back against what was said in the first movie about all people being working in that place killed themselves because he didn't kill himself, he was murdered. But again, it's a lot of different aspects that comes to the way. But his partner, it still lives up, it still stands up. So it's still making brave choices and just
massively. He's always said though he will always do Beetlejuice regardless of his age. He's said it for years. When the whole thing was coming out there, because obviously Beetlejuice did amazing, and you know what Hollywood's like, gotta get a sequel. Burton actually wasn't interested in doing a sequel, so they give it to other people. It actually landed on the doorstep of Kevin Smith, who was going to be writing the script for Beetlejuice in Hawaii. There is a script there, it just was never ever used. And because Burton's name wasn't going to be attached to it, Keaton's name wasn't going to be attached to it, Winona Ryder wasn't going to. They all made an agreement that they would only ever do Beetlejuice if Tim Burton's name is attached to it. And he's always said he will never not go back to this character. But obviously, Burton has to be there. For him, it only works with Tim Burton.
Yeah, but that's the thing, because the world that they built is so intriguing and so much legs. They can go different directions. They could even move away from Beetlejuice and talk about one of the other characters. I know people will probably kick off and think this would work as a TV show. This would work as a different thing. Kelly just said it, the waiting room. Just like I say,
the waiting room, exactly.
Yeah,
like The Office. But we're dealing with like who's getting seen, whose case are we dealing with today? That would be incredible. Like, let's have a look at their story and
starring Nicolas Cage. Just saying.
Yes.
Yeah, Nick Cage has to be in there. But if they've made a he definitely Bill Moseley, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
He's
David Howard Thornton. Just putting that out there.
No,
that's a good one. That's a really good one.
People be too scared of it there because
No, he's so adorable. Oh
he's
no,
he's sweet.
He's so sweet. I was watching an interview with him today, and he's just like, I just want to give him a big cuddle.
He's not going to be anything other than Art McClown now, though. That's his life.
I don't know. He's really aching to play the Joker.
Yeah. And the thing is though, if he loves the prosthetics, he will always find a job. Look at Doug Jones; he will always find a job when it comes down to prosthetics. If he is not a mourner or a complainer, they will hire him for work that has prosthetics in it. But I watched an interview with him today where he got to meet his high school bully, and basically put her in. When the Terrifier movie got put to Netflix, he went to his high school reunion, and one of the big bully girls had come over and introduced herself, and then went, "Oh, who are you?" And she was like, he knew exactly who she was because of the time that she tormented him. And he was like, "Oh, I'm such and such," and it's like, "Oh, I'm just signing all these autographs and taking photographs of people." And she's like, "Why?" And he's like, "Oh, my movie's out." And then when he showed her, he was like, "Oh, that's on Netflix," and her attitude completely changed. And she went, "Oh my God, so you don't remember me?" And he went, "No."
No.
And just walked away. And it was totally sad. Honestly, he's I love him. I was going to say something before we got into that whole tangent. Oh yeah, that's it. They made a stage show of Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
So if they could make a stage show of Beetlejuice, I only know the one song.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is where she's going about to say his name. And then she goes, "Be kind." But yeah, if they can do a stage show of this, surely they could do a television show.
Yeah, the stage show is meant to be brilliant, by the way, though.
It's meant to be absolutely fantastic. Like, I don't think it'll ever be as good as the Beetlejuice stage show at Universal Studios, where it had all the monsters involved. I was there.
Beetlejuice Graveyard Review. Oh,
Yay! Someone remembers it, and it had Frankenstein playing the guitar.
When Frankenstein and the Bride were singing "When a Man Loves a Woman," peak romance.
I actually have it. I have a VHS tape of my dad, because my dad got obsessed with camcorders in, when we were in Florida, and he recorded the whole thing because it was going to be the last time it was going to be on stage when it got taken off. Oh, it is honestly, it's fantastic. Yeah, Beetlejuice's own live performance show at Universal Studios. So glad that wasn't just a dream. Someone else remembered.
I still have my autograph book full of
Michaela
Dracula.
Yeah, my sister does. My sister does. You're very close in age to my sister, because she was born in the year this came out. So yeah, she has her own little autograph book as well.
To be fair,
mine going, that's my hero.
To be fair though, that is the dream though. Like if we ever get to the stage where, because I know other influencers, other podcasts and stuff get sent to different places to review and do things. If we ever got sent to somewhere like Universal Studios, imagine our team or a group of nerds going there together.
Yeah,
that would be.
I can't.
A horror night with this bunch. Yes, please.
I actually can't. I think we'll get a taste of it next weekend.
Yeah.
So maybe it might change next weekend, but it would be absolute fucking carnage. Would you know what it is? If we went to a Halloween Horror Nights, it wouldn't be a case of worrying about the people who were the scare actors scaring us. It would be each other.
Lee wouldn't get a passport. It's fine. They wouldn't let him out through the airport. He wouldn't pass all the tests.
They take one look at him and just go, no.
It's good. He's like, he needs a cavity search. We'll get the rubber glove out now.
Get him out of the country. I'm only saying this because he was mean to me earlier.
But yeah, they would have to go to elbow deep to find anything in Lee, though. It's fine.
They'll be there a while.
But yes, it's going to be hard to rate this movie because I think all four of us are the same mindset. I don't think there's one little bit I would change, so I can't rate it anything other than a 5-star movie in my opinion. That's just for the nostalgia. I don't know if you guys are in the same mindset or.
I am 100%. I think Kelly is above. If you could give any higher than a 5, she would.
Yeah, this defines me as a person. I do actually blame this film for
we got that with the lead up to this.
To be fair,
cultivated.
And I love this because normally, say, Kelly is quite she is outspoken, which is always great. But this is probably the most excited I have seen Kelly in a long time. And it's been just a joy. And again, I know it sounds weird, but it's just been a joy to be if I was watching it, it would have been lovely to watch, to be involved. I can normally keep a straight face and keep things going. You have destroyed me this episode. Literally.
My face is a mess. Look at my eye. Yeah. Look at it. I haven't managed to get my makeup off my eye because of you. But no, leading the whole hype and lead up to the second movie probably came down to Kelly's enthusiasm and general joy of it. That I'm like, oh shit, I need to get in this. I need to get involved in this. Is why when I went and dragged Paul around the town to go and get me bag, I had to get the Beetlejuice bag. I made him park in Sunderland when we didn't need to, and just so I can go and get that bag.
I feel like the podcast husband now. It's like you do what I do. It's fine.
Yeah, I was like, I want to go to the bookshop and I want to go here.
I'll take you, Sammy. It's fine. Don't worry. I take your feelings are the same there, Ale, as well. It'd be hard to knock any points off for anything in this movie.
I thought it was all right. Yes, it's a 5. Goodness sake, of course. It's perfect. It's a perfect story. It's perfect casting, apart from but apart from that, no, it's perfect. It's a family drama, and it's a love story, and it's a heist, and it's just everything. It's just everything. I love it so much.
No. And I think I know it sounds really, it could be not, I'm trying to word this way, it doesn't sound patronizing. we are quite fortunate to have been brought up or lived in a time when they were making movies like this as well. Because now, I know, not to slate the movies we are getting now, it's just every other film is either a sequel,
it'll never be the same.
It's a franchise. They were making movies just on the back of ideas.
Yeah.
And just basically imagination was running right. Probably drugs as well. A lot of drugs were
probably.
taken
I mean, most likely.
But
most likely. But
the type of films we got and like the storylines and
was so lucky.
The characters, it's just an amazing like experience that we will live through this.
Yeah, we are so lucky. I'm gonna have to make an apology right now. Lee, I do remember who helped me keep that bag dry when I bought it. So thank you for the very big Smith's toy bag that you give me to keep my Beetlejuice bag dry.
Don't apologise to him. He's been calling you like all the name under the sun.
He has been. He's been so mean to us this afternoon, and I didn't do anything wrong. But he did.
His excuse is he can't be mean to Paul because Paul doesn't give a fuck. So he picks on Sammy to get a reaction.
Yeah, I can't even remember what it was now. Oh, that's right, because I didn't tell him something about next weekend where the location was, and he's like, "Oh, look at her keeping stuff to herself."
Oh, we're gonna have to sort that out as well. Because I didn't realise Manchester was playing at home because Old Trafford is right next to the Flubberhofer.
Oh, okay.
So
we'll talk about it in a bit. We'll wrap this up though, shall we?
Yeah. Just remember that I was like, oh.
I love you too, Lee.
I hate you. You're a dick. It's fine. Not Sammy, Lee.
I was gonna say we've got to spend a weekend together next week. I'm just saying.
Separate beds. My wife's going. Just saying.
Yeah, my husband is going as well.
or the four of us sharing a bed. Just saying. It could be swap the keys.
Do you know what?
Wife swap.
A very different kind of trip. I might have to rearrange my
non-wife swap. Love it.
As long as I get Nick, I'm all right.
I'll bring them all for the keys, ladies and gentlemen.
As long as I pull out Molly's, I'll be fine. It's fine.
Let's end this before something else is said.
Fine. I'll get in trouble anytime. So yeah. So tomorrow, what is coming up tomorrow, though, Sammy?
Tomorrow we're heading into the witchy era with Suspiria. Oh, I'm right.
You said it right.
My gosh, and I rhymed too. Yeah, we're heading into Suspiria. We are covering the original Dario Argento's 1974. Can't remember the date. And the remake. Really interesting side by side on it, and that is on YouTube at 8 o'clock.
It was nearly on 8 o'clock tonight. If I didn't press
nearly on tonight, but you're getting it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Audio for that episode and all episodes associated with Nerdy Up North will be up on a Tuesday.
Cool. And I believe, I don't know what's out next week, but we're having a pre-recorded episode. We're doing Elvira next week.
Yes.
Which is going to be quite interesting. A very boobalicious episode.
Not from my side, but yes.
I might just put some graphic. I'm going to Photoshop a graphic of Elvira swapped with Sammy's head, so that'll be fine.
Oh my god!
Paul.
I wouldn't mind.
Paul, how is your head?
I've never had any complaints, but yeah. I watch Drag Race. Don't worry.
And I watch Elvira religiously.
Yeah.
Trying to think as well, because
we've got a lot coming up.
Yeah,
a lot.
The week after, we are doing Midnight Mass. So
that's going to be a big one.
So, I'm gonna rewatch that again just because it's going to be interesting. So that one's going to be quite deep and dark. Then we're going to try and do, if we can fit it in. I still want to try and fit in. It's just trying to get it recorded, the Halloween episode for Halloween 3. But I know everyone is so busy. Just to say as well, thank you for everyone that's been following us on the socials. We've been trying out new things with like TikTok and stuff. I've been trying to do more of the lives. So if you catch any of the lives, it's just basically giving us promotion on what we're doing. Have a bit of chat. We'll be doing a few more as well. So thank you, nerds, everyone for the support. So Kelly, have you got anything planned or anything upcoming lately?
Plans? survival. Yeah, I'm still knitting me jumper.
Right.
Knitting a jumper with Icarus on it, the Matisse Icarus. It's been going on for about 6 years, so I will finish it. I will finish it.
So what you're saying is we should be starting up Nerdy Up North Knitting Club. So that could be something interesting as well. We do now.
Crafting up north.
Crafting up north, yeah. That's an idea. What about you, Eel? Anything planned or anything that you've got coming up soon?
Well, I have my little business, my little practical game magic business will be moving from Etsy onto its own platform shortly. So mostly candles, horror homeware. And Beetlejuice was the very first inspiration I had for that business, because I always thought beetle breakfast was a really good idea for a candle. Right. So that exists now, and you will be able to buy it on my shop.
Right.
Excellent.
Beetle breakfast. Cool.
I want a beetle breakfast.
Beetle breakfast.
Beetle breakfast. So we'll get, when it goes live, we'll get all the links put on all the normal places. But yes, so thank you, nerds. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for being, as I always say, your lovely selves. I know Top Grumps is up this week as well, but didn't watch it. The shit. But yeah.
Watch Top Grumps. Watch everything associated with Nerdy Up North.
No, don't. There's too much stuff to watch. Just watch the good stuff, like me, like anything I'm on. That's but yeah. But anyway,
I get nervous with him. he turns podcasts off.
But yeah, Chris is there. But yeah, so same bat time, same bat channel.
Stay nerdy, everyone. Bye.
Bye.